When you're solving an equation, any equation, you're trying to solve for the variable. To do this, you need to undo whatever operations you have. If you have addition, you're going to do subtraction. If you have subtraction, you'll do addition. If you have multiply, you're going to divide. And if you have divide, then you will multiply. So let's take a look at this first one. Here's your variable. You want that x all by itself. So we need to undo the operations. You're going to do this first. And if you're stuck or attached to the variable, you're going to do that second. So this is a minus 13. So undo that with a plus 13. And you're going to add it to both sides because you have to be fair. What you do to one, you do to the other. Those will cross out, bring down 2x equals 16. This is attached by multiply, so we know that we have to divide. And 16 divided by 2 is 8. Now, you can naturally check your answers if you want to. You could say 2 times 8 minus 13 equals 3. So don't forget, you can check if you'd like. Let's take a look at the second example. Once again, this is what we're trying to solve for. You want that m all by itself. You're going to do this first, and if you're attached to the variable, you're going to do that second. So this is a plus 2, so we undo plus with minus. So minus 2 minus 2. We got to be fair. Those cancel, and I have m over 4 is equal to 8. Now, if you look at this, this is attached by divide. So therefore, I need to multiply. So multiply both sides. The 4 in the top and the 4 in the bottom will cancel. It's just like if you have a fraction 4 over 4, and you know how they'll cancel each other. So then I get m is equal to 32. And again, if you want to check it, you can. Look at example 3. You're trying to solve for the variable. You want that all by itself. You're going to do this first, and if you're attached to the variable, you'll do that second. So this is a subtract 1, so I'm going to add 1. Those cancel. Bring this down exactly like you see it. You got to bring that negative with you. Bring your face with your body. Equals 9. Now, this is attached by multiply. So therefore, I have to divide. When you divide, and this is really important, you have to divide by exactly the same thing. You have to divide by exactly the same thing. If that is a negative 3, then you have to divide by a negative 3. That's the only way for it to cancel, is negative 3 over negative 3 cancels out. So then I have x equals positive divided by negative is negative 9. And don't forget, you're able to check your answer. Let's look at example 4. This time, we're going to do things just a little bit differently. When you have a big fraction, like the whole thing is a fraction, then obviously what we want to do is let's get rid of that fraction first. Nobody loves those big old fractions. So that is attached by divide. So you're going to undo that by multiply, so that the 9 in the top and the 9 in the bottom are going to cancel. That's going to bring down the x plus 2. 5 times 9 is 45. Then we will subtract our 2 over. And x equals 43. 3. And that's our final answer. So again, if you have a large fraction where the whole equation's a fraction, you're actually going to do that first. All right, let's take a look at example 5. In example 5, we're trying to solve for the letter, as always, which is right here. This is going to be like the ones we did a minute ago. We're going to do this first, and attached to the variable will happen second. Did you notice how they put the answer on the other side? If that you don't like that, just rewrite it. You can say -3 plus a over 5 equals 12 if you prefer to have the 12 on this side, but it doesn't matter which way you do it. All right, so that is a subtract 3 because that's a minus in front of it. That's a negative or a subtract 3. So we're going to add 3. So add 3. Those will cancel. 12 plus 3 is 15, and then bring this down just like you see it. This is attached by divide, so therefore I need to multiply because I need the 5 in the top and the 5 in the bottom to cancel, just like you're used to seeing a fraction cancel. And so then my answer is 15 times 5, which is going to be 75, is equal to A. All right, let's take a look at example 6. In example 6, we're trying to solve for the letter, the variable. This is going to happen first, and if you're attached to the letter, you're going to happen second. Again, the -10 is over here, and if you don't like that, you can rewrite that and just put that -10 over there if it makes you feel better. Okay, so this is happening first. That is a subtract 6, so we're going to add 6. So add 6. Those cross out. -10 plus 6 is -4. Bring this down, but make sure you bring your face with your body. That's -2x. Now, this is attached by multiply, so I need to divide. And we just said a second ago, when you divide, you have to divide by exactly what you see. So if that's a -2, I need to divide by -2 so they can cancel. So I get x equals negative over negative is a positive 2. Okay, example 7. All right, this is another one of those situations where we said you have that large fraction. The whole equation is a fraction. So we have to get rid of the fraction first. So if this is a divide by 7, I am going to multiply by 7. So the 7 in the top and the 7 in the bottom will cancel. X plus 6 is equal to -28. And then this is a plus 6, so we're going to minus 6. And so x is equal to, if you have -28 and you have -6, put those together and you have -34. And again, don't forget to check those answers if you want to. Let's look at example 8. I'm trying to solve for the letter, the variable. This is a situation where we go back to, we're doing this first, and then if you're attached to the letter, that's what you want to do second. So this is a plus 7, so we're going to subtract 7. Those cancel. 41 minus 7 is 34 equals 2/5 x. Now, here's what I would do on this right here. When you have a fraction, I really think the easiest thing is to, because that's a divide by 5, let's multiply by 5. That way, those cancel, the multiply and the divide, and then I'll have 5 times 34, which is 170, is equal to 2x. Now it's attached by multiply, so I will divide. and x is equal to 85. Now, you could, right here, 34 equals 2/5 x. Some teachers will tell you to flip that. Instead of 2 over 5, they'll tell you to multiply by 5 over 2 to both sides. So the 2's in the top can bottom cancel, the 5's in the top and bottom cancel, and you have x equals, and then over here you just do your fractions. So you would just say, okay, 2 goes into that 17 times. 17 times 5 is 85. So it can be worked several different ways. Okay, number 9. This is one of those where you have the large fraction. The whole thing is a fraction. So you want to get rid of the fraction first this time. So this is a divide by -2. So I have to multiply by -2, exactly what I see there. So multiply this side by -2. I have to be fair. So the -2's in the top and bottom cancel. 12 times -2 is -24 equals m minus 8. And then obviously I need to get rid of that subtract 8. So I'm going to add 8. Those cancel. And over here you have -24 plus 8. And so when you put those together, you get -16. The bad guys win. You got more bad guys than good guys. All right, number 10, solve for k. And if you want to, you could pause the video and then try it on your own and come back and see how you do. Okay, we're going to do this first. And then attached to the letter, that's the one we do second. So if this is a +7, which it is, if it was a -7, I promise you, they would have put a -7 out there, but they didn't. So it's a +7, so subtract 7. So those cancel. Make sure you bring your face with your body. Copy it down just like you see it. -3k, -14 and -7. Well, that's -21. Now we're at the divide stage because that's stuck right there. When they're joined at the hip, that's by multiplication. So if it's attached by multiplication, we'll do a division. And do you remember how we said you have to divide by exactly what you see? So then I have k is equal, negative divided by negative is a +7. All right, let's take a look at these last couple. And on these last examples, I brought in some distributive property. So here, the 5 is going to distribute through the problem. So 5 times x is 5x. 5 times 3 is 15, and drop down your 45. Now we're in that situation where we want to solve for our variable. We do this first, and then if you're attached to the letter, that's the one you do second. So if that's a +15, subtract 15. Those cancel. 5x is equal to 30. That's attached by multiply. When they're joined at the hip like that, that means they're multiplied by each other. So then I'm going to divide. And x is equal to 6. Last one, and if you want to try on your own, you can. Just pause the video. So I'm going to distribute the -2 through. Now be very, very careful with your signs. I always draw a red warning flag to say, be so careful with that negative. So a negative times a positive is a -8a. And a negative times a negative is a +6. And then just bring down your 30. So we want to solve for our variable. This is one of those where this goes first, and if you're attached to the letter, you happen second. That's a +6, so I'm going to subtract 6. What you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. You have to be fair. Those cross out. Bring this down exactly like you see it. Bring that face with that body. So negative 8a is equal to 24. They are attached at the hip, or they're multiplied together. So I'm going to divide. And remember, we said you divide by exactly what you see. And so a is equal to positive divided by negative is a negative 3. If you need more practice on solving two-step equations, be sure to check out my practice video on this. There you can pause the video, try them on your own, come back and watch, and I'll explain and see how you did. Again, if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel, and also remember that if you need help as your equations get tougher, be sure to check out the other videos on equations. See you next time.